Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
Hello there. Hello there. Welcome to another edition of Money Radio, where we discuss front page cover stories and other news stories on national economy, a staple of leadership newspaper. My name is Winifred Ubebo, and with me in the studio, as usual, is an in-house analyst, the editor of National Economy, Kingsley Allo. Kingsley, it's a pleasure to have you on today's program.
Thank you.
As usual.
Good afternoon.
How was your weekend?
Bless God. Thank
Yes.
God.
We are looking at national economy as usual as we discuss cover stories and other stories in the side the paper. 4 trillion naira annual loss, escalating illegal mining thrives amid Nigeria's dwindling revenue. 4 trillion naira annual loss, escalating illegal mining thrives amid Nigeria's dwindling revenue. Despite government's efforts, criminals continue with economic sabotage. 4 trillion naira annual loss, escalating illegal mining thrives amid Nigeria's dwindling revenue. Despite government's efforts. Kingsley, that is a story that is actually worrisome.
Yes. The problem is that
Especially given the fact that this issue has been on for many years now. I remember when I was still on the field and we had issues of lead mining, that so many lives were lost in Zamfara State in those years.
Yes.
So what is happening?
it has not much has changed. When the Zamfara incident happened, the sky did not fall. After all the noise government made, nothing happened. But here is the take. The primary reason why this has continued is because the state governments on their own decided to distance themselves. Because if you look at the Minerals and Mining Act 1999, and also look at the Minerals and Mining Act 2007, it places ownership and control of all these mineral resources, is invested on the government.
Yes.
Government is fully in charge. So state governments actually feel that, well, it is not our thing, it is federal government. In essence, government is too far away from these illegal miners. That is why it's thriving. That is why even the annual loss we recorded, that's about 4 trillion, they are not perturbed. Why? Because if you look at it again, there was a report that showed that politically connected individuals, are working hand in hand with foreign nationals, to continue
it is illegal
mining
activities,
and whatever they mine from the ground, they ship to Dubai through Togo and the Niger Republic. In fact, gold is routinely moved to Dubai.
Yes, that reminds me. There was an substantiated report then that a former governor was caught with some grams of gold.
Yes.
We really didn't know how far the story, how true it was then.
No, it will always be true. For one, you see, like I said when I started, I said these state governors, first of all, they believe that these mineral resources in our land, it should belong to us. Now there's a sharing formula for all those things, but the mentality of the average Nigerian. So long as something is mined from your ground, you just feel it is mine. So what they are doing is that they take all these things with colluding with the foreign corporations and individuals. They move them out and they make very handsome money.
Meanwhile, there were reports then that is these mining activities, these deposits of minerals most of these northern states that have given rise to banditry in these states. How true is that?
Yeah, it's not a lie. In fact, a report even said, there is that link between those who sponsor this illegal mining and those who fund banditry and cattle rustling in those mining communities. It is not. It's a fact. That is how bandits are funded.
But few years ago, I think about during the height of banditry in the north, especially in Zamfara, President Muhammad Buhari did say that they were suspending all licenses, and that was the key word, all licenses. Does this mean that federal government on this part or state government have given licenses to these illegal miners?
What they do is that it's not, some of them
one is not so clear, because he did say, President was caught on camera, he did say, recorded that they are suspending some licenses that have been given out to these miners in order to take care of the security issues
and reevaluate. They even had the licenses were awarded on the first
place.
So
that means licenses were awarded in the first place.
Yes, because if you are an operator, for you to even operate in a mining environment, you need a license. The mining cadastre office will issue with a license. But the thing is that we have to look at these operators. There are two categories of operators. There are those who will go to mining cadastre, they will secure a license. When they get the license, they will now use the illegal miners, artisanal, what we call artisanal miners, those people are here. They will not actually properly, because if you have a license, it means that there must be a data or register of your activities. What is mined from this is the quantity. When it is so, this is what comes out. That record is always there. But the moment you begin to pass through this illegal route, what it simply means that nothing is captured anymore. So from the ground there, they can mine as much as something worth $200 billion. And they move it out. It's not captured anywhere. So these are the kind of operators that are giving government problem. But the problems won't go away because these operators are continual, because there are politically connected individuals and some top politicians. There was even a time when the Minister of Mines and State, Adewite, said that, there were some Chinese nationals that were caught, and then some powerful politicians prevailed on the government to release them. So these are part of the handicaps, on the part of government.
Now, one begins to wonder, given the precarious situation we are in, especially in regards to debt burden. Now, minerals, this is another source of revenue that could have yielded so much amount, to the coffers. So why is federal government not looking that way? Why is it not interested in developing that sector? To regulate it properly?
I think the problem is that, like we said before, government is too far away from this. What they need to do is to kind of review the Mining Act.
But don't forget that the Land Use Act also,
that one is state government control. But the resources belongs to federal government. So for this thing to be effectively cleared, they need to review that Mining Act. Place ownership of those resources and the control on the state governments. The moment state governments are in control, a lot of things will begin to take shape, because one night they now know, okay, we are benefiting from this. Some of the security operatives that are colluding, because there's always collusion. These ones that are colluding with all these criminal elements within the system, they will be clipped. And you also notice that insecurity will reduce. For now, we were talking of the funding. You notice that it's just coming from this channel. Well, when you can mine up to 400 trillion worth of minerals from the ground, and it's not accounted for.
It's not accounted for.
This is just, that figure may have gone up since then.
And there's no government official actually that monitor and evaluate all these activities.
What they are saying is that they say that if that throughout the country, they have in all the mining locations, they have the officials. But then the question is, they don't have enough manpower to
who supervises them?
Yeah, it's the ministry now. It's the ministry, but what they are saying is that we don't have enough, personnel, to monitor these things and all that. And the state government, it's okay, since you will not let us take control of this, continue doing it your own way now. Do you understand? So that is where the problem has been. And again, also you look at part of the things that have also given rise to some of these issues like the high cost of formalizing the operations. Maybe look at the high criteria for formalizing the
But
operations.
Kingsley, sorry, I want to take you back again. Apart from giving out licenses, this license doesn't it contain memorandum setting up, having all these maybe companies or machinery in place to actually bring these
People on board.
minerals,
Yes,
bring it to finished product or something like that.
Always there will always be issues. There will always be infightings. If you come, you check, they have Miners Association of Nigeria.
Yes.
There's another association again. Even among them, they're already fighting. Always. Do you understand me? They will always have those, and government will just issue license to you. You know, the cost of formalizing that operation, like I've mentioned, also criteria you must meet. Met all these conditions. So the problem is that, you know, then they will start citing one reason or the other why they are not going to site. But in truth, they are actually going to site. But they are using third parties to go to the site and mine these things and move them illegally. That is a problem. That is the reason why at the time Buhari president said they are going to withdraw this license, they are going to review this, they are going to look into this, they know all those things. So for these people, they know it is more lucrative. Just secure their license. Once you get the license, don't worry, we'll have the boys on ground who will go and get those things. We know the routes we can use to move these things out of the country. So they don't know all those things. And it's always in collision with security
and
government officials. Always. Plus highly connected politicians. Those who have access to levers of power. They're always there to give them all the necessary protection. And in return, they grease their palms. So that is the vicious circle we found ourselves. And then again, you also...
And it has continued over the years.
It has continued.
And there's nothing being done to checkmate these
nothing being done. Government
is
helpless. Government is helpless, as it were. And then, of course, you have to also contend with those. It is our entitlement. This is in our domain. It is our entitlement. How can we have something like this? You are telling me to go and apply for a license. You tell me to go and pay for this, pay for this. You are giving me plenty of paper to fill and submit to you. They don't have time for all those grammar. They don't have time.
So what should be done? What is the way forward?
Yeah, for
sanitizing these mining.
It wouldn't have been that lucrative if there were no involvement of foreign nationals, all those nationals, and corporations outside. So the only way government can handle that is actually through diplomatic channels. Through diplomatic channels. These like Chinese national and other, they are not falling from the sky. They have their embassy, they have the ambassadors. So they should also think of how they can exploit that diplomatic channel.
Okay, they should exploit diplomatic. You think the embassy will be able to talk to their people?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, we will be talking more on that when we come back after a break. Don't go away, viewers. We still have much to talk about in today's national economy. Stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
Yes, you're welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Money Radio, reaching you on Leadership Television. And my name is Winifred Weber. Once again, and with me in the studio is an in-house analyst, the editor of National Economy, Kingsley Alu. Kingsley, you're welcome once again.
Yeah, thank
yes,
you.
Before we went on a break, we were discussing National Economy's leading story on illegal mining activities, which has continued to thrive and costing this country so much in terms of revenue. Kingsley, you were telling us what is the way forward.
Yeah, I said before the break, I mentioned something like we need to explore the diplomatic channels.
Yes,
that's the only way you can stop that.
How so?
Yeah, it's possible. This.
How do you go about it?
Yeah, they have ambassadors. Okay. Do you understand me? It's not enough to say, for instance, when the Chinese nationals were caught, and then some top politician prevailed on government to release him. And why not, if you're tired of dealing with these politicians and their meddlesomeness, why don't you just exploit that diplomatic channel? Meet their embassies, meet their ambassadors, meet their representatives in this country. Talk to them about what their nationals are doing here, the harm they are doing to our economy. Because the truth is, if the situations were to be reversed, in the first place, they will not tolerate in their own country.
It's so true. So true. Yeah, still on national economy, want to discuss another cover stories is on the paper. It says skyrocketing airfares puts airlines travelers in tight spots. Skyrocketing airfares puts airlines travelers in tight spot. The story is on page 2 of National Economy. For more on the stories on National Economy, you can either get a copy or log on to their website for more on the story, today's stories. How, Kingsley? Now we're in the Yuletide season.
Yeah.
So what do we have?
Well, one of the things we have noticed is that less number of people traveling, and also it's also affecting the fortunes of the airlines because the airfares by now have gone up.
As a matter of fact, somebody said yesterday that she was going to travel, and everybody were hailing her. Oh, you must be really tight financially for you to embark on air travel this period.
Because it's going as high as 150,000 now, just for one way. So to and fro, you drop 300,000 just to go and for a 1 hour journey.
Less than
less than 1 hour trip. That kind of money is coughed out. And it's not as though from the fillers.
But why is it so? Why is it that anytime there's going to be maybe a seasonal celebration and you see that prices of goods, transport fare, air fares, they're always on the increase? Why is it that these people, they cash in on the season to always increase services?
It has been the case, but I think this time around there are other factors that are actually responsible for the uptick now in what we're seeing in the numbers, statistics, rising airfares. The thing is that number one, you look at the cost of aviation fuel. February 2021, a liter was sold at maybe 200 naira, but today it's going for 800 naira. There are even speculations that it may hit 1,000 naira per liter. So this is also telling on the operational cost of the airlines. Then, of course, also you look at the scarcity of foreign exchange. That's also another problem.
Yes.
Then, of course, like we mentioned, operating costs. And this operating cost covers maybe the taxes they pay, the surcharges, in case of a default.
Yes, but when this price of aviation actually
aviation fuel.
Yes, aviation fuel, was started increasing. Of course, the airliners, the owners, they almost wanted to shut down, but they were prevailed upon by President Muhammad Buhari not to do so, and that they were going to intervene. And of course, they did intervene, but not shortly after, we saw the rise in air tickets. And these airline operators were no longer complaining because many thought that they've already using the excess funds that they are charging for tickets
because the government at the time they took delivery of up to 10 because at that time they took delivery of up to maybe 10,000 liters of aviation fuel. Later, government also gave another 5,000 liters.
And you saw that they were not complaining. So
they were not complaining.
Or is it that they just want to?
Well, I think the season is also partly responsible, and again, also commitment of government is a bit. I think it's also beginning to wane a little because now the regime has barely maybe 6 months.
Yes.
So they are not
That's
even
very
concerned with
responsible.
all these issues anymore. So right now, that is why the thing is noticing the spike now. It's moving to 800, and as it is going also. For instance, the cost of maintenance now is expensive. When you talk of dollar scarcity, they use dollars and talk of dollar scarcity here. So if you want to do a sea check now on an aircraft, it costs a fortune. You can pay comfort as much as even $5 million and all the rest of them. Where are they going to get that kind of money? So this dollar scarcity, when something is scarce and you are pursuing it, the tendency is that the prices will go up. So what they normally do,
too many people are pursuing.
too many people. So at the end of the day, they will just aggregate all those things and then transfer the whole thing on the air passengers. So this is why it is actually good. But then I've also noticed that those who want to travel are really traveling because one, the roads are not safe.
They are not so safe at all.
The roads are not safe. So it's not as though I don't want to travel, or I'm going to travel, I will take the road. You never can tell, because for those who are busy waylaying innocent people on the highways, it's a time also for them to make quick cash. Anybody they kidnap now, it's huge money.
Yes.
And they have it since the last time we had, they are still kidnapping and more. It's also going up on the rise.
We saw a CCTV video that is trending online just right here in Abuja, how they kidnapped a person who was in a Prado Jeep.
Yeah.
They just rounded him up.
They just
removed him.
Move it, that's all. So
right there in the FCT.
Yes, this is just, and as this was just one of the isolated cases. So there are so many of them. So obviously for the traveling public, it's no longer convenient. The road is not even an option.
No, it's not.
It's not an option. Most government or security operatives are already overwhelmed. Where do you start? Is it the Boko Haram they are pursuing? Is it the bandits in the forest? Where do you even start? They are so overwhelmed.
So, what are your predictions? Are you predicting that maybe because of maybe low turnout of people that are embarking on trip this new time, it may have little or no impact on the
it will, because what they've even done now,
owners,
take home.
Yes,
profitability of the airlines
increase or their effort.
No, what they are even doing now is that they look at those lucrative routes.
Yes.
Those are the ones they are now flying.
Okay.
They kind of look at those routes where
likely to travel
people like Lagos, like Abuja, like Port Harcourt, like Kano, something. They look at those. It's not all the routes now they move. You just look at those ones that are lucrative. They know they have steady stream of customers and they can make from them. They go there. And these areas, if you notice very well, you have high net worth individuals actually patronizing them. Not to also mention that this political season. Yes. Those of them in a hurry can even chatter you and off you go. But a politician, or a very influential businessman, or even a person that he has something urgent to do, may not necessarily have to wait for any help from government. They simply go over there, pay the thing, and they go their way. So these operators of these airlines, they already know the routes these people will always want to fly, and so they also cash in on those routes. And some of those other ones that have less people going, and there's not fetching much money for them. They are not at the moment now. They are not interested in those places. So in a way, it is also affecting their fortunes, but also the traveling public is also affected because some people may not even travel again this season because the alarm has been ringing here.
Like the amount you just quoted, if one has to pay 300,000, not to talk of other expenses that he or she's going to bear when she gets to her destination.
Yes,
that one is a deterrent.
That's a big distance. So right now, I'm sure most people may not travel, except if it is very, very exigent, very, very important. Then you need to travel to fix one or two things. And then, of course, for those who are not average people, for them to make that kind of trip where they cover 300,000, they will have to save and plan and run a tight budget and stuff like that. But then, for those who are used to traveling regularly, it has also affected the number of times they will also travel. So this is Christmas. Most people will actually stay in the area of their,
Like I asked before, why is it that many people always wait for, Yuletide season or any other holidays like Salah holidays to increase, their services and goods?
Well, it's a natural law of supply and demand. That's a natural law. But it's very, very unfortunate because I know in a same environment, it doesn't happen like that. It's only in this country that when Yuletide is approaching, everything starts rising.
Exactly.
Everything. Even if you want to travel by road, you still have to pay more.
Oh yes, it's
not that any
travelers, road travelers pay more.
Yeah.
Road transportation.
So it's just that to them it's a time to make
money.
But
now that the trains has resumed, do you see people taking to rail?
Well, it depends on what you meant by resumption. Because the last time, the one that was going from Abuja to Kano, it was a helicopter that was escorting it. And I can bet you for that to happen, there must be a top government official
that was there.
So if anybody wants to take the risk, swallowing what government has said, hook, line, and sinker, that it is safe, they can travel, they can take the train, and they can move. The bandits already know the weak spots. They know where to capture people they want to capture. But I don't know who and who will even, at this point in time, take the risk to say you are taking train, especially when there's no helicopter escort.
That's good. Because you are not a VIP.
You're not even a VIP on the train. Those are the ones now flying. If you say it's 500,000, they will pay. They have access to funds. So they know how, even if you make it 1 million for less than an hour, they will do it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let's go back to national economy. Let's just see other headline stories on the cover. National economy once again. Yes, we Naira redesigned curb rising inflation. That's the story on page 4 of national economy. And on the strip, the last strip, we have how to identify fake Naira notes. The story is on page 5. How to identify fake Naira notes. These are leading stories on this week's national economy. For more on the stories, you get hard copy or you log on to the website to read more on the stories. Kingsley, this is what we call it today on today's national economy.
It's been a time.
Yeah, it's been a time. Viewers, I look forward to seeing you same time, same station next week on the program. And I remain Winifred Webo. See you.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.